Serial murder was in the 70s and 80s. We had far more serial killers back then than we do now. And evidence of that is the fact that when we see documentaries and movies about serial killer, they focus on Bundy and Gacy and the legacy killers of the past. There's really no high profile.
Okay, John, go ahead. What I tell you is what I know is fact.
I'm a power person. I enjoy power. Nobody else had the guts to pull off what I pulled off. I outsmarted you again.
Police today found 6 more bodies
under the home of suspected killer John Gacy.
Well, you can be walking down the street, and if Gacy lay eyes on you, you have now become his next victim.
I know society will never be able to forgive me. I know the families of the victims will never be able to forgive me for what I have done. Your Honor, it is over now.
Welcome, all you true crime lovers. Sit back, grab that blanket and hot beverage, and prepare for another Saturday night of The Murder Show, whose mind and story will be dive into tonight. Now for your host, Tim, and alongside him, his co-host, Criminology, Chris, and Classroom Jackie.
Pretty girl, pretty girl. Cease to exist. Just come and say you love me. Give up your world. Come on, you can't be. I'm your kind, oh, your kind, I can see. Walk on, I love you, pretty girl.
Just thought we'd start out with that for you. We all know who that's from, so.
That was a cool introduction compared to last week.
Yeah, you know. All right, everybody, welcome to another fantastic Saturday evening. We're back on our normal day here to the Murder Show. I am your host, as always, Tim, and alongside of me, I have my co-host here, Criminology, Chris.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I can't believe that. I don't know if it was just a day shorter, but it feels like it hasn't been an entire, week. I mean, man, just went faster. I don't know.
It really did.
Yeah. Just that loss of a day.
Well, we also we did the show on a Sunday, so now it's I guess 1 day shorter.
That's what I'm saying, but it feels like it was a few days ago. So
yeah, right. Yeah. So and then alongside of Criminology, Chris, I've got yeah. Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys?
So, as many of you probably have listened to last week, we are on a 2-part series here. We did part 1 last week of Charles Manson, and tonight we are going to finalize and finish that all up on part 2.
Yeah.
So, yee-haw, we are having some fun here. And, as always, don't forget, if you don't already follow us, please do. We are on TikTok and Facebook at Murder Show. Classroom Jackie posts updates on there all week long.
I just posted a picture, and we haven't picked a winner, and no one's been interacting with it. So how about from the top 5 who interact with the post we just did, somebody gets picked for that gift card.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah, that's right. $100 gift card to the serial killer website, serialkiller.com. They got a lot of cool shit on there. Also, we want to do a shout out to our sponsors, Unique Detail LLC. They're in Northeast Ohio. They're always running all kinds of awesome deals and specials. Check them out there on Facebook as well. And then also our other new one here, which I am
Crafty Creations by Laura.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have mine. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties getting things going here today,
Yeah.
so
You guys can see us. Normally we can see ourselves. We can't tonight.
technology's great. Yes, it's Crafty Corner by Laura. All handmade crochet items, jewelry, plushies, and more. You can check them out on Instagram at Crafty Corner by Laura and on Etsy. You can also email them at thecraftycornercrochet@gmail.com. So we'd like to thank them for sponsoring the show too as well. Laura has a lot of really cool things that she makes. It's all handmade stuff. So thank you, Laura, for doing that. So yeah, other than that, I say we jump right into this. What do you think here?
Yeah.
Let's go.
You can kind of tell everybody, anybody that maybe didn't listen to the episode, where we left off and where we're going to kind of pick up from if you want.
So we left off where Charlie Manson had shown up at the Tate residence after Melcher had moved out. So their first encounter, and she called him the creepy guy. She and Polanski were actually getting ready to head to Europe for the for filming. They were getting ready to work on a production.
Creepy guy. He looked like a nice enough fella.
Do you know
Yeah.
the day that they flew out? It was April 1st. And that'll be
April Fool's Day.
an interesting fact for once we dive into the Tate murders.
Boy, that's always fun. Let's fly out on April Fool's Day, right?
Yeah, well, it's better than trying to fly right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. Anyways.
You're laughing at me.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah. So we are at was it Gary was his first name?
Yeah, we're up to the Hinman murder.
Yes,
Gary.
the Hinman murder here, which was pretty crazy because Manson had sent a couple of the girls over there to try to get money from him. They were strapped for cash, I know, and
It was a girl and Bobby Beausoleil. Bobby went over there because I believe he ended up getting arrested after the fact. Because right. So like they ended up going into Hinman's house and holding him hostage for what, 2 days?
Yeah, it was 2 days.
Yeah, so they basically just sat around, held this guy hostage, tried to extort money out of him. Or tried to get money out of him. He was previously selling them drugs and supplying drugs to the family, so he had been involved with them, but he wasn't actually part of the Manson family. But they were running low on cash, so eventually they, Charlie went back to his ways of trying to procure money, which was the criminal path, and he ended up sending them over to his place to try to get cash out of him because
It was the supposed inheritance of $21,000.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, they were already paying him a bunch of money for drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make the assumption that the guy's got got money on hand.
Yeah.
If you're throwing money at him all the time, you'd assume somebody else probably is too.
I don't know. I believe he probably really didn't have any money there that he could give them.
Well, and that could be. I mean, maybe he's fronted drugs. Maybe he's paying off somebody.
He was.
Who knows, right?
He was. So, according to what I found, they had gone over there to the house to recover money that had been paid to Hinman for mescaline, mescaline provided to the straight Satans, and that had supposedly been bad. So he owed them money.
Oh, so he probably paid back. I mean, I assume that was like a gang of some motorcycle gang.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see much about it.
I have no idea who that is, but yeah, it doesn't sound like a group of people that I would love to interact with. So
straight Satans.
Yeah, that sounds like
that was the motorcycle gang that Manson had brought in because his goal was to get them involved in the club.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
To kind of help security type thing is what his goal was.
I feel better with those guys hanging around watching my back. I don't know.
Yeah, I would.
You know,
Yeah. The only thing is, you just don't want to cross paths the wrong way with them.
right?
No, and don't do drugs with them or sell them drugs.
Or if you do, don't give them bad shit, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably would try to verify the quality of that prior to delivery.
The two women had kept him hostage and were torturing him before Manson showed up with a sword and slashed his face and part of his ear off. Beausoleil ended up stabbing and killing him. I believe it was 12 times.
Beausoleil is such a long name. We'll just call him Bobby B.
Bobby B. Please, can we please? And I apologize
Bobby B.
now. I am probably going to butcher at least one of these names.
That's okay. We forgive you.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them are, more. There's a couple of them that, I can't even pronounce. So, whatever.
So when
Moving forward.
So he chopped off the ear, and then they ended up. Tex was the one that ended up killing him, right?
No, it was Beausoleil.
Or Beausoleil. I'm thinking
Yeah.
of Tex. That's right. Texas.
Tex
Watson wasn't there at this time.
Yeah, which is surprising me because Tex usually did most of the killing.
It was just Atkins, another one, and Beausoleil there until Manson showed up.
Oh, okay. All right.
You calling him Beausoleil?
Beausoleil.
Beausoleil? Bobby B. That's
Bobby B.
We're just gonna call him that from now on.
Let's go with Bobby B.
Speak to us, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby.
That was good. That was really good.
Coffee doesn't
see him
feel
coffee
good.
go through her nose there.
It doesn't feel good. Thanks, guys.
So
shit.
Bobby B ended up stabbing him to death. While he was tied to a chair when he.
Hey, we have somebody in the chat here, One Springer 05, wants to know if I'm wearing pants.
Oh.
Yes, I'm wearing pants.
Whoa.
I am. Hey, whoever you are, thank you.
This flies down though.
Yes, I have pants. I have jogging pants on. But anyways, okay. Are you like my secret admirer fan or something? Would you like me to not wear pants? What are we getting at here?
I mean, you still can't tell. You're under a desk.
Yeah.
The
That's
only ones
why.
you can see are us.
Yeah, that's why I have this desk because I don't wear pants. So.
It's kind of like a news anchor. Those guys always wear they got a suit on the top half, but shorts on the bottom, and
like COVID style.
a pair of Crocs. Yeah, right.
They're Crocs.
Yeah.
Listen. This has been a great beginning so far. I don't even know where the fuck we're going, but it's awesome and I love it. So, Classroom Jackie, if you want to fire in the hole here and kind of never mind, she's answering some fan mail real quick here. So,
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
We're good.
Are you good?
Yeah, one of our followers, we actually have somebody who's been a follower from day one, and they just messaged and asked if there's a chance that they could be the winner of this because they've done so much for the show and promoting and everything.
Do we know them?
We do.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think this is a we'll have to have a nice discussion and
Yes.
see where it goes.
This will be over gin and juice and fire.
Not a fire tonight. It's way too cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fire time's gone.
But our time gone.
Fire time done gone.
And then you guys put up the motorcycles today.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. That's sad. It's a
Ooh.
sad. I don't even have any sad sounds for that, but
Aww.
all right. Okay, so we are at where they get to the
What?
Tate residence, and this is Jackie's going to paint you a really good picture here. This is crazy the way this all went down. So, which I'm sure a lot of you know about it, but we really, since we're specifically covering one thing tonight, when we talked last night, we all said that we really want to paint that picture and really get in depth with this tonight, because I can only imagine what it was like being in that house for Sharon and the other couple.
So
That was heartbreaking. Just awful.
before we get into this, I'm going to put out a massive trigger warning. Some of the things you can quit with that face. There are some people who don't like to hear this stuff, and it's being polite.
Well, they probably wouldn't want to listen to the murder show. Dun. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of implied. That's all I'm saying is it's kind of implied.
I know, but there
You
are
know?
still like things like this episode is going to be child loss.
We're going to talk about fluffy bunnies tonight.
Chris is really on one tonight, guys. I apologize. He is on some shit tonight.
Fluffy bunnies and what other cuddly, happy things?
I went over to check with Chris about something about an hour before the show, and he was playing Roblox naked on his couch. So that ought to just tell you something.
Minecraft.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why not?
Way to tell what goes on in our doors on TV.
Oh,
okay.
Right. No secrets.
Let's get to it now.
Okay.
There was going to be talks of child loss, extreme amount of violence in this, and some of the things that we're going to hear came from the victim's own mouth. So I just want to put the trigger warning out there that it could be devastating and extremely upsetting. Oh my lord. Extremely upsetting to some of our listeners.
That's upstate.
What's upsetting is you messing that word up so many times.
It is pretty upsetting. I'm sorry. Now, last night while we were sitting there talking, I spent the whole 2.5 hours typing this whole thing up and just finished it tonight. To set the tone of this, on the night of August 8th, 1969, at 8.5-month pregnant Sharon Tate, the wife of Roman Polanski, her former lover and renowned hairstylist Jay Sebring, aspiring screenwriter Wojciech Frykowski, I think that's right.
No, I think you got it, and anybody can try to nail that name. I mean, that's a name.
I mean, after listening to it 6 times on the show last night, I had to get it right.
Yeah, that was a tough name.
It was, and his girlfriend, heiress to Folger's Coffee, Abigail Folger, who had actually been house sitting since April 1st, which was the day that Polanski was already in Europe. Tate and a photographer who had been there flew out to join him. It was right after those encounters where Manson had shown up and had called him the creepy guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
They had been staying there as well with Tate while Polanski was still in Europe. They had just returned from dinner at El Coyote and had gathered at 10,050 Cielo Drive in Los Angeles, California. Also present was 19-year-old caretaker William Garrettson and his 18-year-old friend Stephen Parent. At the same time that they were gathering, Charles Manson was instructing Tex Watson to go to the house and totally destroy everyone in it, and do it as gruesome as you can. He then instructed Susan Atkins, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Linda Kassaman to do whatever Watson said. Just after midnight, the quartet arrived at the residence. Watson climbed a telephone pole and cut the phone line. They then backed the car up and parked it at the bottom of the hill that led to the estate. Believing the gate may be electrified or had an alarm, the quartet climbed up a bushy embankment to the right of the gate and entered the grounds. Shortly after entering, the headlights from a white 1965 AMC Ambassador coupe approached the group. Inside was Stephen Parent, who was leaving after visiting his friend. Parent was ordered to halt by Watson while the women hid in the bushes. Watson then aimed a .22 caliber revolver at Parent, who was begging for his life. He offered him any money he had, everything he had. Watson then aimed a .22 caliber revolver at him and shot him. Instead of sparing him, he also pulled out a knife and lunged at him, stabbing him multiple times, severing tendons and cutting the watch off of his hand while Parent tried to defend himself. He then shot him a total of 10 times. You good?
That was great.
Please proceed while I stop playing with my straw.
He then shot him 4 times in the chest and abdomen, killing him in the front seat. Watson then instructed them to push the car back up the hill and park it. How do you do that?
Why do they drive it back up the hill?
Because they didn't want them to hear the noise, probably. Because he was leaving.
Oh, he was leaving.
He was leaving.
Right.
He had been there visiting the caretaker, Garrettson. He was just there to visit his friend. He wasn't even there with Tate and them.
But what I don't understand is they shot him. How did Sharon and them in the house not hear the gunshots?
That's kind of where I was headed, because you're worried about the car running, so let's push the car up the hill. But don't worry about the damn 22 going off.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. And they're in the house, unless they were having like some loud ass party, which they weren't.
They weren't. They had just came back from dinner and separated and went to different areas of the house.
So that's what's so weird to me, is that you think they would have heard those gunshots and thought, what was that, and kind of went and looked, or maybe locked the doors or something,
Yeah,
that's just so odd to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, especially out there was nobody really around.
No.
So like even in suburbia, I mean, I still would hear a 22 go off. It's not extremely loud, but it's loud enough
And
just
they're-
to get your attention.
Yeah, and they're in a rich neighborhood that you're normally not going to hear gunshots.
Right. Yeah.
It's mansions. I mean,
And it's a state, if you look up pictures of it, which there's a few on our TikTok and Facebook, it's a huge area. There was tons of woods around it too.
Right.
So it's not like it wouldn't be noticeable. It would be with the area they were in.
yeah.
Right. These are not natural occurring animal sounds. They don't sound like 22s.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
if you also look at the pictures from the front of the crime scene, there was a pretty steep driveway where the gate was to the distance from the house. So it could have been quiet enough that they didn't hear it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, gunfire travels.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, we won't ever know. But it's still just weird to me. I thought that was weird when I was watching the thing on it too.
Yeah.
It's just like, wait a minute, and he shot him multiple times in that car, and it's like, so then you got the sound of it hitting off the inside of the car, because the gun was pointed in the car, so you got the sound ricocheting off the inside of the car and coming out, which is gonna,
Amplify it
amplify it.
like a speaker.
It makes a pretty good crack. You
Yeah.
hear it.
But maybe they just didn't think nothing of it in there, or maybe they were just enjoying their time spending with each other and they just thought nothing of it.
Yeah, and being damn near around midnight. I mean,
Yeah.
like sound travels pretty.
Well, yeah, because like you guys said, it was quiet there.
There was
Yeah.
no traffic. They
Yeah.
weren't on a main road, I believe.
No.
Maybe they thought it was that guy leaving, it was his car backfired or something.
It could be.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
But anyways,
Watson then ordered Linda to stay by the gate and keep watch. Watson then cut the screen on a window and climbed inside, letting Atkinson and Krenwinkel in through the front door. He then whispered to Atkins some instructions. Sleeping on the living room couch was Frykowski. Watson woke him up and kicked him in the head. When Frykowski asked Watson who he was, he replied saying he was the devil, there to do the devil's work. He then proceeded to bind his hands with a towel. Now, those instructions that he whispered to the girls were to find the other occupants of the house and bring them to the living room. Unfortunately, they found them. Abigail had retired to her room to read a book, while Sharon and Jay were in her bedroom talking. Atkins actually walked by Abigail's room, and she smiled and waved at her, thinking that she was one of Tate's friends.
jeez.
Yeah. Abigail, after leaving, Atkins then returned and showed Folger a buck knife and instructed her into the living room, while Krenwinkel gathered Tate and Sebring. Once they were in there, Watson took a long nylon rope and began to bind Tate and Sebring by their necks, then threw it over a beam on the ceiling, pulling it tight. What's a buck knife? No, what's a buck knife?
No, a buck knife it's a brand. Buck actually made knives. They were actually the first creator of a folding knife that they say could actually withstand or be used as as like a fixed blade knife. So they're a quality name in the business. So, but they are a brand similar to K-Bar or whatever, what other quality knife brands. But I guess it comes with a heck of a nice warranty. So it's a nice knife, but it's probably either a large folding knife or a large fixed blade knife of some sort.
Okay. And then if he had them bound by a long nylon rope and threw it over the ceiling beam, why didn't he just hang them there?
Well, I think their intent wasn't necessarily to, as you had mentioned, they were supposed to make it as gruesome as possible. Their intention was to actually stab them. If it was to hang them, I mean, that would have been pretty easy, no?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right over the beam.
Yeah, I think they just pulled it tight, just to hold them in place, so they'd stand in place, so they wouldn't be running around.
Yeah, pretty much to
But
where.
they have found them on the floor with burn marks on their necks from the rope.
Well, I think they were on the floor. I think they were found with the rope maybe on them on the floor. But I think the rope burns was probably from them trying to pull it tight, and they're standing with the rope maybe around their neck.
Oh, okay.
And they were moving. You know, they weren't just standing there and not moving. They were probably turning their head or moving their body, which probably, yeah, exactly. That probably created that burn. Yeah, that's my guess. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Watson then shot Sebring after he complained about the rough treatment of pregnant Tate. He actually went to defense for her of why they were doing this to her. Watson then stabbed him 7 times and killed him.
That's crazy.
Frykowski, who was able to unbind himself, began to struggle with Atkins, who stabbed at his legs with a knife while he fought his way to the front door onto the porch. He ran past Linda. His face was covered in blood, and while he was standing near the post, she later stated in a testimony that she said to him, "Oh God, I am so sorry. Please make it stop." Frykowski fell to the ground into some bushes, where unfortunately Tex Watson had caught up to him and proceeded to hit him in the head repeatedly with the butt of the revolver, before stabbing him and shooting him 2 times. Frykowski continued to struggle across the lawn, receiving a total of 51 stab wounds, as well as being struck in the head 13 times, enough to bend the barrel and break off one of the gun grips.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of power you're putting behind that. I mean, in order to bend the barrel of a revolver, you know, did he shoot anybody else other than the guy in the car that was coming up the driveway, and then
No.
and then him? Well, that would make sense. See, we talked about that one. Who were we talking about? Warnos, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We were asking the question, like, how she's got a revolver, like, how is she shooting people 9 times? You think about it.
Yeah.
Well, at least he shot the one guy 4 times, the other guy twice, which
Was 6.
would be your
Yeah.
6 bullets in your gun. You know.
Now, the only reason they knew that the gun was bent and the grips were gone was because they recovered it at the crime scene. So they left the gun there.
That's just crazy. I mean, that's like you said, that he had to have been hitting a lot of bones.
Oh, that skull? His skull was probably smashed in at that
It
point.
would have had to have been, because you're talking metal on a gun, which is heavy.
And the butt of it is where all the weight is. It's not at the barrel, it's at that butt. And add the force of your hand, you're going to break tons of bone.
Yeah, because Chris, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, when the metal that they're using when they make those guns, it's got to be like a 12 gauge metal, right?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at a picture of the gun. Actually, David just actually shot me a picture. Actually, if you look at this thing, it's pretty stout. Now I can't tell that it necessarily is bent by looking at it, but you look at it there.
That's
but
a heavy duty.
Doesn't that look like a seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, the barrel on
That's-
that thing looks like a muzzle loader.
That's why I was saying
It's-
that's got to be a 12 gauge steel.
Well,
I will post some of these pictures that are being sent to us right now after the show so people can see it. There are pictures out there, unfortunately, of the actual crime scene and Sharon Tate and things like that. We will not be
Yeah.
posting those.
If you want to see them, just look them up
If you want to
yourself.
see them, feel free to dig into that, but we are not doing that.
that's not what we do. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like if you have a 22 caliber gun, like you were saying, Tim, I think, you know, the inside diameter of that barrel, because of the caliber, is pretty small. Well, 22, right?
Yeah.
And then the exterior of the gun, like, I mean, they made guns in different calibers. The barrel, I mean, the thickness of that barrel had to be pretty stout.
Yeah. Comment on here, somebody's asking, was Sharon Tate targeted because of Roman Polanski's rape charges?
Oh,
That's a good
no.
question.
I don't believe it was. I believe because the person that used to live there was Melcher, and
Yeah.
Manson had felt betrayed by him, that he went there thinking he was still going to be there, and then
Well-
found out he wasn't, and just targeted that house.
So yeah, what Classroom Jackie's saying is, long story short, the gentleman that lived there before Sharon Tate and Roman did was a record producer, and he originally said he was going to get a hold of Charles and possibly give him a deal, and he never did. And Manson kept trying to get a hold of him, and then they pretty much ghosted him. And that's where he had lived prior, and then he moved out and sold the house, and then Roman and Sharon moved in,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much where it was. And at that point, I remember him saying on the documentary that we watched that Charles just wanted to cause chaos, as much damage as he
Oh, he
could
did.
in that home. Because the record producer moved away and moved out, and Manson did know nothing of it. So I think he felt betrayed even more, like this guy's jumping ship and running away from me now. So that's why he sent them to that house. So she was not targeted because of Polanski's rape charge and all. But that's a good question.
That was, and then somebody just asked, David did the Tate residence have security? And no, there was absolutely no security.
No, yeah, none.
It was back then when celebrities were celebrities, but there weren't death threats and things like that so much.
Yeah.
Whereas now you can pay to have security.
I don't know how much technology they really had back then too. We know they probably didn't have cameras and stuff like they do now.
Yeah, you're probably more likely to have a guy sitting in a hut at the end of your driveway or something like that.
But they hadn't been in there that long, so maybe that's why they didn't have security yet, because they were recently moved in. I mean, but yeah, they did not have security. So
I think the attack on that house, I think there were just a few things at play there. I mean, one was obviously there could have been a little bit of money involved. I mean, there was the strain that Charles was going through, because it didn't seem like any of this started taking place. They were much more of a group of people that sat around playing music and dropping acid and all that kind of shit until all of a sudden they started running out of money, and then, like you said, Charles got pushed away from that record deal situation.
Yeah, he started going down that hole after Melcher.
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, like, he kind of put him in a bad place, and he decided that, well, I'm not going to be a musician, so the only thing that I'm going to be able to do is
go back to my old ways.
Go back to the criminal activity thing. But targeting them, like you were saying, I think it was the whole helter-skelter situation where they were, he was trying to basically create the situation which he was trying to get all his believers to digest through the time in that cult, which was like, hey, this is going to be like Armageddon, and the black man is going to take over the United States, and there's going to be this big war between the two races.
Yeah.
and that kind of situation. But he was trying to encourage that to happen. So throughout those murders and the things that took place, like they were writing, you know, the political piggy thing and writing pig on the door, and you know, in addition to that,
they had done that at the Hinman residence where they put pig
right
to try and encourage it.
That's what I'm saying. So he was kind of just trying to fast track that whole situation. I think he was trying to make himself look like, hey guys, like I know what I'm talking about. This is actually happening.
Yeah. Which
I didn't realize it wasn't happening, so I'm gonna go try to make it happen. You know?
Yeah. Right.
So make it seem like the Black Panthers or somebody were going in and killing these people.
Which is crazy because everything he did, it didn't change nothing, it didn't solve nothing. It didn't. This whole Black Panther and Helter Skelter movement he was trying to do,
yeah, it didn't.
Was just bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what did it even solve? Like.
Yeah, it just seemed very real to a bunch of idiots that were living off the grid.
LSD and they just thought they were actually going to make a change, and it's like, no.
Yeah, and maybe like I said, maybe they weren't completely idiots, but they're living off the grid. They don't have access to all the information that most people have when they're living in a city.
Yeah.
You know, they're just basically listening to this guy and taking his word for what's happening, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how he became a leader.
Yeah. It's a damn shame they paid attention to it, but a lot of drugs.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean,
Who knows?
Take away the drugs and that he was a good-looking guy back then, and I wonder if he would have got following like he did.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if they would have looked at him, and like I said, there's so many people there. You think they'd look at each other and be like, "Hey, is this guy really serious? Is this shit for real?" Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that I can really believe it.
That time period was called the Summer of Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was pretty much like hippie fest and
Right.
stuff, right? I mean.
So, and not everybody that was there did drugs and stuff like that. So you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think that there'd be some kind of mutiny, especially
I mean,
after he started like
Casaban-
kicking the crap out of people.
Casaban didn't participate in taking acid.
Kasabian.
I'm calling her Casaban. She's not alive anymore.
If they all would have just went to Woodstock, it would have been fine. You know,
Yeah,
listen to some
right.
good music and just went to Woodstock. You can do all your drugs there and call it a night.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no.
Pitch a tent, hug each other.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
home, man. Yeah.
Throw up the horns and call it a night. But nope.
Bringing back coming back to the acid, do you think that could have had something to do with how violent this is? Like how violent the attack is, rather than Manson telling them to make it as gruesome as possible?
No, I mean, I didn't see anything as to whether or not any of them were currently using drugs during that period of time that occurred.
I didn't
And I don't know that they necessarily could have proved it in that time period anyway.
I don't think they were.
But you
I
don't
think-
know.
But you don't know. But I think they were doing a lot of that when they were all at the Spawn Ranch,
Okay.
having their, fuck fest and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's when they were mostly doing it. But like you said, Chris, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly could have. I mean, you could be onto something there. There could be a disconnection, from a moral or internal, point of view that caused them to have less connection to,
Yeah.
feeling bad about stabbing somebody.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. So
Now, at some point, and I'm assuming this, Folger must have tried to plead for her life because Carmichael took her back to her bedroom and got $70 out of her purse to give to them. So I'm assuming she tried to plead for her life, saying that she had money.
yeah, she must have been. I mean, if she went back to get $70, I mean, she must have thought maybe if I give him some money, this could stop. But at that point, I feel like it was so far into it.
Yeah,
But she's in panic mode, so
you're gonna try anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I've never been put in that, scenario, thank God. But yeah, because at that point, you're already far into it. You've already got somebody killed,
Mm-hmm.
but she's probably panicking.
Folgers began struggling with Krenwinkel. After being stabbed multiple times, she was able to break free and ran down a hallway and fled out a bedroom door into the pool area, where unfortunately Krenwinkel caught up with her, tackling her to the ground, and she began stabbing her until Watson showed up to assist. In total, she was stabbed 28 times.
That's crazy.
Krenwinkel would actually state later that her hand hurt so bad from hitting bone while she was stabbing.
Yeah, that's insane.
There's a quote, they were asked about this, Atkins was, after the murders and they were arrested, saying that Abigail had said, "I give up, you've got me, I'm already dead," as she was dying.
Wow, it's sad.
It's heartbreaking.
That it is. It's disgusting, honestly.
Yeah, when you're hitting somebody that hard, breaking bone, that your hand hurts, and then the fact that you're going to complain, my hand hurts so bad because I was breaking your body.
Yeah, your poor hand.
Yeah, your poor hand, right? You know.
But the fact that Watson, he had just got done stabbing and murdering Fritkowski on the front lawn.
Yeah.
Came running back there and assisted her and kept stabbing as well. That to me is just, that's awful.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't
That's
imagine.
horrible.
Yeah, you're not too incredibly human in my book at that point. Like,
No.
How do you
No.
do that?
Yeah.
Back in the house, Tate, in an attempt to save her unborn baby, pleaded with Atkins and Watson to live long enough to give birth, and offered herself as a hostage. Instead, Atkins and Watson stabbed her 16 times, killing her and her unborn child. They then hung her and Sebring. According to the coroner's report, Tate was still alive when she was hanged, whereas Sebring was lifeless. Her cause of death was massive hemorrhaging. Atkins later, after her arrest, stated that she had thought about cutting the baby out and hanging it as well.
Oh my God.
That's disgusting.
That's sick. That's
It's-
fucking nasty.
He wanted gruesome. This is gruesome. It's
Yeah, but
oh,
cutting the baby out, oh my God, man. Just, the baby's already gone. We don't need to further by pulling the baby out and doing it. I mean, come on.
no. How?
And thank God that she didn't do that, but to even think about that,
Could you imagine if Polanski was there as well?
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's according to Watson, Manson had told the women to leave a sign of something. Atkins, using Tate's own blood, wrote "pig" on the front door. She did this to copy the Hinman murder scene in order to try and get Bobby out of jail, who was in custody for that murder. If you look it up, you can see the picture where Roman is sitting next to the door where his wife's blood is written. It is awful.
That's
Wow.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That poor guy. Chris, you brought up a good point last night when we were doing prep that, and you know, Roman, he's still alive. He's 93, you said, right?
92 or 93, I think 92.
Just the stuff that he went through, survived,
Yeah, he got out of Poland.
Holocaust and
Yeah.
all that.
He's 92.
Family was killed. Then this happens to his wife and their first child, and he survives that. I mean, Roman's got to be sitting there thinking, like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that his family was killed over there or not. All I know is that he got out of Poland during I don't know if it was during the actual Nazi occupation of Poland or just prior to, or what exactly that situation was. But I mean, to avoid that and then come all the way over to America and to have to go, I mean, that guy's been through.
Oh, dude.
I mean, in 92 years, he's been through
Hell,
so
man.
many things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember,
They were actually, he and his family were trapped in the Krakow ghetto after his mother and father were taken and raised.
Oh,
Jeez. Yeah, he's been through a lot of shit.
yeah.
And I remember the interview where they were talking to Tate's sister, and she said that she remembers talking to Roman on the phone, and she could hear, and she goes, "This is a guy that was always like, emotion showed none." And
Just
she
tough as
said,
nails.
"Yeah,"
Yeah.
and she said, "I can remember hearing it in his voice over the phone, and how affected that he was by this just grind."
Just destroyed, but yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Oh, yeah.
That would be one of those things that's just like, I mean, I'd
Yeah.
walk off a cliff right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right
But
there.
he stayed through it, and he, like you said, 92 now, he's still alive. I mean,
And he did not remarry for 20 years. He married in 1989.
Wow.
So after Sharon died.
he was in love, and then some people don't, and some people do, and some people it takes them a long time to get over it and move on, and
Well,
with him.
Yeah, I mean, if your wife and your unborn child are killed, I mean, honestly, it's going to take. I'd never get.
Yeah.
I'd never get that close to anybody ever again. I'd be terrified that anything would happen. Whether it's, I don't care if it's a car accident, I'd be petrified.
Yeah. Plus, everybody knows about it in the world, so anybody you meet, and if you try to date, they're going to bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a huge thing,
Right.
So, go ahead.
Manson was displeased with the attacks, with the Tate murders, everything, completely displeased, and planned to go out the next night. He and the four murderers, plus Leslie Van Houten and Clem Grogan, went for a drive. Casaban gave him an address, 3301 Waverly Drive, in the Los Feliz section of Los Angeles. Located next door to a home where Manson and the families had attended a party the previous year. It belonged to 44-year-old supermarket executive Leno? Eliano?
We'll go with Big L.
Big L. La Bianca.
Not to stop you for a second, but did it say, do we know why Manson was displeased with that? I mean, what more did he want?
I don't know.
That's you're displeased with that. I'm sorry, you didn't have enough blood. You didn't hit everybody enough. You bent the revolver, the barrel, but I'm pissed off at you because you didn't go crazy enough.
I think it was the inadequacies of the previous night. He didn't think it was up to his quality of what he wanted or how gruesome he wanted it.
Oh yeah, well, anyway, sorry, I just didn't know. I mean, because that's just displeased. Like,
well, the next night. So not only did they just get done killing Tate, Sebring, Frykowski, Folger, and Parent, and an unborn baby, they're gonna kill the next night 2 other people, and from what I'm seeing right now, it's pretty violent.
To try to make up for how he's displeased.
And he leads the whole thing pretty much.
Oh.
So he's not murdering them, but he's leading the whole
charge. He's been doing, leading it.
So the 4 plus Manson, Van Houten, and Grogan ended up at 3301 Waverly Drive. It belonged to 43-year-old Leon LaBianca and his wife, Rosemary LaBianca, the co-owner of a dress shop. According to Atkins and Casaban, Manson disappeared up the driveway and returned to say he had tied up the occupants. Watson, Krenwinkel, and Van Houten entered the property. Watson claimed in his autobiography that Manson went up alone, returned to take him with him to the house. Manson pointed out a sleeping man through a window, and the 2 entered through the unlocked back door. Watson claims Manson roused the sleeping Leon from the couch at gunpoint and had Watson bind his hands with a leather thong. A thong.
Might be the same one Chris wears. I don't know. Leather, he said.
Leather is not a very breathable material, so I try to, say it just doesn't. Yeah.
Except for when you wear your assless chaps, but
Well, they're assless, so you got room to breathe there. I mean, typically it's got to fly in front of you, open it up, you get this circulation of air that will essentially cool you.
Which brings me to my next point. I want the footy pajamas that have the butt flap. I really do. How perfect would that be when you got a poop?
Oh yeah.
Let's just
You're
get that
ready
out
to-
there.
And
ready
not
to
to
go,
mention, the
man.
footies, your feet would never be cold.
No.
No.
The only thing is when I'm sleeping in the middle of the night with my feet get hot, I'd end up taking a knife and cutting my feet apart. So my feet remain out, you know.
Just get footless ones then, and put socks on them.
Maybe you eliminated your carpet, so I mean, if you think about it, yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about static or being able to shock others at will.
That's not true. If I wear my onesie, I shock the crap out of you.
You do. It's upsetting. It's terrifying. I don't come within 10 feet of her when she's wearing that static suit.
She hides in the living room. Where am I?
Yeah.
It's worse when I go to give him a kiss. You can see like an actual bolt shot
Like
the
electrically
lips.
charged. You're gonna fry your computer one day. Just
Decoys. So, anyways, go ahead.
Rosemary was brought into the living room from the bedroom. Watson covered the couple's heads with pillowcases, which he bound in place with lamp cords. Manson left, and Krenwinkel and Van Houten entered the house. Watson had complained to Manson earlier of the inadequacies of the previous night's weapons. Watson sent the women from the kitchen to the bedroom, where Rosemary had been returned, while he went to the living room and began stabbing Leon LaBianca with a chrome-plated bayonet. Isn't that thing like this big?
well, bayonet. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing like when he was walking around with that like saber or whatever the hell he had as a sword or whatever. It's just absurd. Just he wanted more absurd weaponry, apparently.
Yeah. Like you said with the sword and stuff, when you used to cut off the ear, it's like.
Yeah, we're gonna send you in, but this time we're gonna use a flail and a mace and a battle axe.
And
Like,
they gotta
wax.
try and collect them in they gotta try and catch them in one of those things that had the spikes.
Yeah, we're gonna
Now
be
you gotta catch them in this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the Iron Maiden.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's going back into his medieval roots.
Medieval roots.
Oh my gosh. Would he be a peasant back then? He had no money.
Would he be a peasant?
He'd be a peasant.
Medieval Manson.
The first thrust went into Leon's throat.
Oh,
Watson heard a scuffle in the bedroom and went in there to discover Rosemary LaBianca keeping the women at bay by swinging the lamp that was tied to her neck. That is a badass right there.
well, yeah. I mean,
It's
use
a
whatever
lamp
you
tied
got.
to your neck and you're swinging at these women.
You use
What the hell?
whatever you got. Man,
I mean, she's taking a chance of choking herself, but she's trying to keep herself alive.
Yeah. Well.
And I don't mean to laugh, but that's
No.
kind of badass.
Oh yeah, because she wasn't going to give up without a fight. I mean, kudos to her.
Yeah. Watson stabbed her 7 times with the bayonet, then returned to the living room and resumed attacking Leon, who he stabbed a total of 12 times. He then carved the word war into his abdomen. Watson returned to the bedroom and found Krenwinkel stabbing Rosemary with a knife from the kitchen. Van Houten stabbed her approximately 16 times in the back and exposed buttocks. Van Houten claimed at the trial that Rosemary was already dead during the stabbing. Evidence showed that many of the 41 total stab wounds had in fact been inflicted post-mortem. Watson then cleaned off the bayonet and showered, while Krenwinkel wrote "Rise" and "Death to Pigs" on the walls, and "Helter Skelter" on the refrigerator door, all in LaBianca's blood. She gave Leon 14 puncture wounds with an ivory-handled 2-tined carving fork, which she left jutting out of his stomach, and then planted a steak knife in his throat. So, even more violence, twice as harsh. to two people.
It had to be up to Manson's standards,
Mm-hmm. Manson drove the other three family members who had departed Spahn Ranch with him in the evening to Venice, home of to the Venice home of the Lebanese actor Saladin Nadar. Manson left them there and drove back to the ranch, leaving them and the LaBianca's killers to hitchhike home. According to Casaban, Manson wanted his followers to murder Nader in his apartment, but she claims she thwarted this murder by deliberately knocking on the wrong apartment door and waking a stranger. The group abandoned the plan and left, but Atkins defecated in the stairwell as they were leaving.
No, just a sweetheart.
So he wanted 3 murders in one day, pretty much.
He pooped in the stairwell. Hey, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Just he showed them. Yeah.
They're already dead.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna poop in the hallway.
Now, there is one more small noticeable murder, and this actual testimony from one of the killers of what happened.
All right, let's hear it.
35-year-old Hollywood stuntman Donald Jerome Shorty was murdered on August 26, 1969, 2 weeks after the Tate LaBianca murders. When Manson told Shea, Bruce Davis, Tex Watson, and Stephen Gorgon to go on a ride to a nearby car parts yard on the ranch, according to Davis, he sat in the back seat with Grogan, who then hit Shea with a pipe wrench and Watson stabbed him. His testimony stated, "I was in the car when Stephen Grogan hit Shorty with the pipe wrench. Charles Watson stabbed him. I was in the back seat with Grogan. They took Shorty out. They had to go down the hill to a place. I stayed in the car for quite a while, but then I went down the hill later on, and that's when I cut Shorty on the shoulder with a knife. After he was, well, I don't know." And all of this is his testimony, so it's not me stuttering or skipping or anything.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he was dead or not. He didn't bleed when I cut him on the shoulder. When I showed up, he was. He was incapacitated. I don't know if you asked if he was unconscious. I don't know. He may or may not have been. He didn't seem conscious. He wasn't moving or saying anything. It started off Manson handing me a machete as if I was supposed to. I mean, I know what he wanted, but I couldn't do that. And in fact, I did touch Shorty Shea with a machete on the back of his neck. Didn't break the skin. I mean, I just couldn't do it. And then I threw the knife. He handed me a bayonet. I just reached over and I don't know which side it was on, but I cut him right there on the shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah. His skeletal remains were found in 1977.
Well,
Damn. So, I mean, that's just, it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack and unfold. I mean, just the fact that he coordinated all this stuff just boggles my mind.
I think it's amazing too, the time period in which all this happened. It wasn't just, this kind of stuff happens over a long period of time in some of these stories that we discussed, but this whole shooting match, I mean, between last week and this week, I mean, this whole entire stinking thing was just a year in the life, It's just a year.
Well,
it wasn't.
And you had said that Linda, a lot of that had only happened when she was only with them for 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4
1
weeks.
month.
Yeah.
Right.
1 month. She did sleep with him once. Manson.
Wow.
I think all them girls pretty much did.
Probably did. Yeah.
Yeah, when they were all high on the drugs and stuff.
But we were talking last week, we went from the beginning of playing music and happy hippie loving horse shit to militarized murder.
Yeah.
And we're going into people's houses and slaughtering them. We went from that to that
in a year.
In 4 weeks.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it was just,
And what honestly triggered him was that whole record deal.
Yeah, I think it really went sour when that came down the pipe. At least that's the way it seemed anyway.
I mean, who knows what would have happened if they would have given him a record deal? I mean, I wonder how that producer felt after seeing all that on the news. He saw that was in his home and all that, and he's probably like, shit, you know, I should have given the guy a deal.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
you never know. I mean, if someone comes in and applies for a job and you don't give them the job and you give it to somebody else, the last thing you're going to think of is, man, this guy's going to go on a killing spree because I didn't.
You never, and that's
you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there was, we had talked about it here where we live. There was other side of town, not far from us. There was that guy that went postal and shot and killed his mom and her mom in the house.
Oh yeah.
And what started it was he had gotten fired from his job he'd been at for a long time that day.
Yeah, well, and like I said too, I mean, it could be multiple, and I'm sure even in that case, like it's not just that.
Well, yeah,
there are multiple things at play here. I mean, he was just mesmerized by a Beatles album. He was under the not even the assumption, but the full and true belief that what he was saying was, was like the word of God, man. He believed all this was going to happen wholeheartedly, like he had convinced himself. So, I don't think he felt like what he was doing was necessarily wrong somehow.
Yeah.
Like he lost that connection to
that love and feeling.
That loving feeling.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Cease to Exist was a banger. That was a banger.
Yeah. Well,
I rocked that shit in the ride. I mean, come on. That was a banger.
Oh my gosh. There's a picture of a shirt that you need.
Where's this coming from now? Okay. Well, we know who sent that, so.
No, yeah.
You can chill out over there, trash garbage. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Trash garbage.
That's the same thing.
It don't matter. I don't give a shit. And you and I will fight. So that sign over there says that one of only men you have not fought.
One of the only two men that he hasn't beat.
Bring it on.
Hit him with a chair.
Bring it on, trash dumpster.
We'll record it too for the podcast.
Yeah. Bring it on. So, sorry, go ahead.
Now, Casaban didn't participate in any of these murders. So she was excused.
It's Kasabian.
Casaban. She died in 2023.
Just say K. Call it K.
I'll just say Linda.
There you go.
Linda was used for the prosecution. She got immunity. She was not included in this because she actually did not commit any of the murders or involved in any of them. She was just there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, she still was a part of it, so, but, I mean, having the immunity.
She struck a deal with the prosecutor.
Right, yeah. So she made a deal to roll on the family in order to protect herself from being incarcerated. So I think she was, I mean, how many people were actually, there were many people that received life sentences for conspiracy for murder.
Watson, Krenwinkel, Manson, Atkins, and Van Houten.
Okay.
And that gun wasn't found on the property of Tate. It was found by a 10-year-old boy. And he turned it in as a found gun. His father had to call the police department 10 times to get them to connect it to the Tate residence murders.
That kind of make you wonder too, like all the other people that were on the property at that point in time when all this was going down. You kind of like almost wow. It just the lack of coming forward and actually because there's a lot of people that had to have knowledge of what was actually happening.
Yeah.
And to not report that and to just sit back and watch it happen, you think there'd be some sort of,
Yeah.
punishment that would come along with that. But
Well, the prosecution, I think, struck a deal with that Linda and
Right.
said if she testifies against the Manson family, then she
Right.
would get
I was just saying,
immunity.
Immunity, yeah.
but there wasn't just 6 people living at that ranch.
I wonder if the ones that he included or had as murderers were like his top followers or the ones that he trusted the most.
Well, they're certainly the ones that the prosecution felt they were able to put away.
Well, they were the ones that were at all of the murders.
Yeah, right.
Because they used Linda's testimony. She gave all of the evidence, all of the facts. Well, not the evidence, but she told the account of both murders, like the big murders.
Yeah. And what about the old guy that owned the spawner ranch? He was shacking up there with them too. Technically, he's holding, murders, although he probably didn't know what was going on.
Well, and that's the question, right? So whether or not he did.
Yeah, whatever happened to him, you don't ever hear nothing else about him.
No.
Besides the fact that he was just getting the life by these girls that were being his maids, pretty much.
Yeah, I think the prosecution and I think the law enforcement at the time understood what was necessary in order to put a stop to the situation, and they knew, who was responsible. So I think they did a good job at putting away who needed to be put away.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
but it's just sad if you look at the lives that were affected there.
Oh,
and Sharon Tate, she really looked like she was very, very pretty.
She was extremely pretty.
It's sad, and then what Roman had to go through after all that too. And then the unborn child and stuff. I mean, it's crazy. This whole Manson thing was my pick. For anybody that's new to the show, we said last week we've been going around between the three of us and doing our picks and stuff, which next week will be Chris's pick.
I got some ideas.
He got some ideas.
I got some ideas.
But I chose Manson because it's always been a really crazy story to me, because technically he's not a serial killer, but the fact that he, just the brains that he had to organize this whole thing and do this for a year just blows my mind. I mean, this guy is like professional, manipulator, liar. I mean, just everything. Look at all the times that we covered last week that he got out on good behavior,
right,
in and out. Like you stated, a good thing or a good point about the amount of years he spent locked up. I forget the way that you worded it, Chris.
Oh yeah, I believe he was 32 when he got out of prison.
Yeah, he spent 17 years.
Yeah, 17 of those years were spent in prison. So only 15 years of his life, up to the age of 32, were outside of prison walls. And then 1 year later, after he gets out of prison, he's going right back in for life. So truly, I mean, up until, what did he die at 82 or 83 or something?
He was 83. He died in 2017.
So he died at 83 years old. So really, only 16 years of this guy's life were spent outside of a correctional facility of some kind.
Yeah. Which is, bizarre.
Yeah.
But he would always get out on good behavior all the time for all this stuff, he'd get out and then he was up for parole February the 1 year, and then January he
raped a kid
in there, and it's like, but still got out shortly after that, and it's like, how many times you gonna let this guy out?
Yeah,
but he had a way of getting into people's heads, I believe, manipulating them,
Now, he was convicted of 9 counts of first-degree murder by December of 1972. By 78, he had a parole hearing. But not to mention in 75, Squeaky, one of the members tried to assassinate Gerald Ford.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
So the family had calmed down, Manson had calmed down while he was in prison for 72 until 75. Then they had to be back in the spotlight.
I really do truly believe, and this sounds kind of messed up, but I really truly do believe that he was trying to change in some way for the better when he was trying to get that record deal and write all that music. And I think them screwing him over like they did just kind of triggered him.
It's like Hitler. Hitler wanted to be an artist, and one critiqued him and did not like what he said.
Yeah, I
And
just
wasn't
believe
he-
Yeah, I'd
it
say
like
that was a factor in pushing him over the
it
edge.
flips that
although-
switch.
Yeah, once again, I mean, a lot of contributing things in
Oh,
no
yeah.
way, shape, or form, and we want to really compare him to him because, I mean, obviously,
Well, yeah, they're on different
yeah,
spectrums.
right,
there,
yeah,
but-
completely different situation there entirely. But yeah, it is amazing that it really kind of seemed like everything really took a turn for the worst after that took place.
Yeah. But so this whole Manson thing was just it's always been a really crazy story to me, and that's why I decided and chose. Go ahead, you have something over there.
Did you know Squeaky was released from Federal Medical Center Carswell in 2009?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was actually in West Virginia at a federal prison camp, and tried to escape to get to Manson because she heard he had testicular cancer. Then when she was re-caught, she was sent back to a different prison, even higher security, and was released on parole August 14th of 2009. I wonder if she's still alive.
His balls were tired from banging all the women all the time on drugs, so they finally said, "The hell with this."
Do you think they had him in like maximum security, like in his own cell, didn't talk to anyone,
Manson?
or was he with other people?
Manson was in Pelican Bay, I believe, which was that's like an underground supermax.
Is
Was
it
he?
really?
Yeah,
Where's that at?
that's out in the desert, man. That's out in the
San Quentin.
Yeah,
Oh, San Quentin. That's
San
where
Quentin.
Randy Kraft's at. He's still alive. He's 80. He's in San Quentin too.
I thought he was in. What was Pelican Bay? I thought he was. I don't know.
No, he was in San Quentin until he started getting ill.
Yeah, okay. News to me.
Hey, you learn something new every day, right?
Get your facts straight.
Damn it.
Damn it.
So
Right.
yeah, on the, as we call it, on the fucked up scale of 1 to 10, Chris, what are you gonna rate this? And why?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's tough, right?
Yeah, it is on this guy.
So,
Jack, you're rating a 1, watch. No,
I honestly don't know what I'm gonna rate him. I'm just never here thinking it right now.
1. Well, because he wrote good music. It reminded me of Sleep Token.
I would say, I wouldn't say it's a redeeming thing for him that he seemed like he was kind of loosely, like not 100% right in the head.
Yeah.
During all this, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, I don't exactly. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not
Well, yeah.
But it's difficult to tell what the motivations all were. Obviously, like strain theory says that he's trying to make something of himself, and that thing fell through, and he is where he is. The labeling theory behind it, you are who you are. You've been a criminal your entire life, so just continue your criminal mentality and your way of doing things. I think that he basically did exactly what he did because he didn't know how else to do it. But the manipulatory way and fashion in which he accomplished what he did is inhumane, disgusting, and otherwise. I'd probably put him around a 8. Let's go with an 8.
An 8? All right.
Because, I mean, it wasn't like, some of the guys we've covered in the past where it's just like, wow, he's just way off the reservation as far as,
Yeah.
just gross and disgusting, but it's still just inhumane.
Yeah. Classroom Jackie, what do you give him? Why?
Don't sell your phone.
That was not delivered.
I'm gonna have to go with a 7.5. 7.5.
7.5.
We have decimals now.
Decimal. Just the amount of manipulation and the way he was able to control and gain such a following, and still to this day, there are people who still follow his beliefs.
Yeah.
One of our TikToks, people are actually still happy about him and his thoughts and everything.
Yeah, I know some of the.
It's weird. It's crazy, but for how violent and gruesome and the acts they did to Sharon Tate and her unborn child and ruined somebody's life, like it's a 7.5. It's violent. It's not Ed Gein awful, but it's still awful.
Yeah. No, it's good.
What about you?
Oh, I'm going with a 10 because of manipulation and the way that he could control these people when he got into their mind. Sure, drugs was involved big time, but the way that he got into these people's heads and the shit that he did, and then that whole gruesome Tate murder, and he was dissatisfied.
That's pretty gross.
That just blows my mind. Like, really, dude?
Like, how can you be unsatisfied with that gruesome and more victims than the one they did the next night?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going with 10 definitely. That's me, based on just because I know he didn't kill anybody, but the fact that he organized this whole entire thing is just like, it's messed up.
Oh yeah.
But no, we hope everybody enjoyed the last 2 parts, or these 2 parts that we did on Manson. Not enjoyed it in a great way there. We just mean enjoyed kind of diving into this, and maybe some of you learned a lot of things that you didn't realize and didn't know before, and that's why we have the show and we do what we do. So as always, as I stated in the beginning, follow our social media. Classroom Jackie heads all those up, and she's always posting different things, and a little bit in the week we will post here on the YouTube channel who our next one's going to be. Chris has a few ideas brewing in that skull of his.
Yeah, we'll come up with something interesting.
So, and on YouTube here, if you don't already, subscribe to our channel, please do. We are now at 40 subscribers. The stats are going up. We're all over the world and in different countries, people listening to. It's pretty cool. I can see all that broken down. So we thank you. We thank everybody for helping us grow, and this has been a dream of mine for a while. And
TikTok just hit 110 followers.
110 followers on TikTok, so
and 900 likes.
900 likes. That's awesome. So we appreciate it. We hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Saturday evening and the rest of their weekend. And I am going to leave you with some more Cease to Exist on the way out tonight, because it's a banger. Fuck it, it's a banger.
That shit slaps.
But it shit slaps. I'm gonna hook some subs up in my vehicle and just drive around listening to Cease to Exist with my assless chaps on.
Yeah, mount a couple subs on your bike.
Blast.
Please don't.
Hey, pretty girl,
Oh my god.
But anyways, guys, thank you. We're going to get the hell out of here and go do whatever we feel like doing, because we're young, dumb, and we do whatever we want.
Good night.
So, yeah, Jackie, do your thing.
See you then. Same crime time, same crime place.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Pretty girl. Pretty, pretty girl. Cease to exist. Just come and say you love me. give up your world. Come on, you can be. I'm your kind, oh, your kind, and I can see. Walk on, walk on. I love you, pretty girl. My life is yours. Yeah, you can have my world. Never had a lesson I ever learned, but I know we are.